In the future world there is something more important than looks. That is your rating. In this world everyone has a pair of special chips installed in their eyes, allowing them to check others' ratings at any time. Ratings are on a scale of 5, with higher scores earning respect and lower scores leading to social exclusion. If a score drops to 0, the person is even sent to prison. Lacey's score is 4.2 and the first thing she does every morning is practice smiling, hoping to get a higher rating. She constantly strives to improve her score, even smiling while eating breakfast, only to vomit afterward, all for the sake of posting a more attractive picture on social media and getting more likes. After breakfast she goes to work and encounters a high-scoring lady in the elevator. Lacey quickly takes out her phone to find a topic of conversation. In this world, swiping the phone projects the other person's social media feed through the chip, visible only to oneself. After a pleasant conversation they mutually give each other 5-star ratings. At the office, Chester brings milk tea for Lacey. Out of politeness she gives him a 5-star rating, but the disapproving looks from her colleagues reveal that Chester recently broke up with his boyfriend Gordon. Most colleagues support Gordon. Lacey as a result receives several negative reviews. After lunch Lacey visits an upscale residential area to check out a house. She likes everything here, and the male model in the advertisement fuels her fantasies. However, good houses are expensive. Luckily there's a discount available if the rating is above 4.5. With her 4.2 score, Lacey seeks advice from a rating consultant, who suggests getting high-scoring individuals to give her 5 stars. The next day Lacey encounters Chester outside the office. He is being rejected by security due to his score being below 2.5. Despite Chester's desperate pleas, Lacey ignores him to protect her own score. In the elevator she meets the high-scoring lady again, trying hard to impress her but only receiving a 3-star rating. At work she comes across her childhood friend who now has an enviable 4.8 rating. Lacey seizes the opportunity and takes a photo of the rag doll her friend gave her, posts it on social media. As expected, her friend gives her a 5-star rating, but one 5-star is not enough to satisfy her. Lacey's best friend contacts her in the evening. It turns out she's getting married to a wealthy man and wants Lacey to be the bridesmaid. On that day everyone present has a score of 4.7 or higher. Excited about the opportunity, Lacey quickly agrees. After the call Lacey's younger brother asks when they became so close. It turns out they were only superficial best friends. In their childhood the friend often teased Lacey and even stole her boyfriend. However, Lacey, for the sake of increasing her score, no longer cares about dignity or such matters. The next day Lacey prepares a cheesy wedding speech. After her brother listens to it, he criticizes her for living too hypocritically, leading to a heated argument. In anger they give each other 1-star ratings. Outside Lacey accidentally collides with a passerby with a 4.8 score, receiving another 1-star rating. However, Lacey doesn't care anymore, as participating in the wedding will restore her score. In the car while talking on the phone with her friend, Lacey speaks loudly and ostentatiously. The driver, who was annoyed, gives her a 1-star rating. Upon reaching the airport she learns that her flight is cancelled. There's another available flight, but only those with a score of 4.2 or higher can board. Lacey falls short by 0.1 points. In frustration she curses, attracting the attention of security, who penalizes her with a 1-point deduction. Furthermore, any negative reviews received within the next 24 hours will be doubled. Unable to catch the flight, Lacey resorts to renting a car. Due to her low score she can only get an old and unreliable vehicle. It runs out of battery after a few hours. Finding a charging station she realizes the outdated car model cannot be charged. Seeking assistance from the staff, she interrupts him watching porn video, who maliciously gives her a negative review. Helpless, Lacey has no choice but to take a ride on the roadside. However, with a score of 2.8, no one is willing to pick her up, nearly giving up an old lady with a score of 1.4 stops. Although initially hesitant due to safety concerns, Lacey eventually gets in the car. During the ride the old lady shares her own experience of having a high score of 4.6. 8 years ago, when her husband got cancer, the hospital prioritized treatment for someone with a higher score. After her husband's death the lady stopped caring about scores and spoke freely without fear of offending anyone. She tries to comfort Lacey, advising her not to live for these numbers. However, Lacey's mindset remains the opposite. As dawn breaks the lady and Lacey part ways, as they are no longer headed in the same direction. Before leaving, the lady gives Lacey a water bottle and puts it in her suitcase. For the first time Lacey experiences someone helping her without the intention of gaining a higher score. Lacey disguises herself as a fan of a sci-fi series and successfully hitches a ride. However, to her surprise her friend suddenly calls, telling Lacey not to come. Previously the invitation was extended because Lacey had a rating of 4.2. Having a friend with a rating over 4 would boost her own score during the wedding speech. Now with Lacey having only a little over 2 points, it would have a negative impact. Lacey's willingness to attend is solely to improve her rating. Both are acting in their own self-interest. However, at this point Lacey is determined. She must attend the wedding to secure a high rating. Borrowing a go-kart, Lacey rushes to the venue, but only those with a rating of 3.8 or above are allowed in. Forced to take a shortcut, she accidentally falls into a mud puddle. Finally, in a disheveled state, Lacey appears at the wedding. Seizing the microphone while no one is paying attention, she reminisces about the joyful times with her friend while simultaneously angrily revealing her friend's dark past. This leads to a flood of 1-star ratings, and Lacey's score plummets to 0. She is arrested by the cop and thrown into jail. In the end, Lacey has the chip removed from her eyes, and the dust in the air becomes clear. Finally, she sees the genuine world. Although she and the fellow inmate across from her exchange disdainful looks, smiles appear on their faces during their verbal sparring. As she enters the prison, she also liberates herself from the cage of her own mind. mind. Perhaps Lacey's affliction is a reflection of the malady afflicting modern society. We often showcase only the bright side of our lives on social media to deceive others about our well-being, yet this is merely a facade to please others. Instead of living in the eyes of others, it's better to follow our hearts in our own little worlds.